Hi, Rebeea. My name's Daphne. I'm one of the essay correctors here at ieltspodcast.com. Thank you so much for sending in your really, really lovely essays ahead of your exam, which I gather is very soon. So I'm really impressed with these. You write very intelligently, very interesting arguments. They're quite easy to follow. So what I'll do is let's go through them, and then at the end I'll just comment on the 4 IELTS criteria that the examiner would be using. So this is about the population of countries with a relatively large number of young people compared to older. Okay. So I like your intro. The various number of individuals belonging to different age groups is what diversifies our society. Okay. Yes, I'm thinking of whether you could have a different word from various. The range of individuals, maybe, or the wide range of individuals might work. In recent times, just not in recent times, the percentage of youngsters in some countries has risen. So you've got the present perfect here, because you're talking about something that started in the past but is still carrying on, has risen as compared to the older generation. Good. Although this means that the country would have, will have, I kind of prefer would have, because it's sort of hypothetical, a greater, no, we wouldn't say working class because this has connotations in English, which is a bit difficult. So a greater number of people in employment, you'd have to make it a bit longer. Greater number of people in employment. I believe that this would also have its disadvantages. Okay. Nice intro, well done. You might put a line on here saying this essay will discuss both the benefits and the drawbacks using examples from University of Minnesota. I think you probably need another line just to literally introduce your essay. An evident advantage of this developing scenario means a country would have more chances of economic growth. Good. A large number of young adults means S. More individuals will play their part in making society more progressive. Now, you could add a bit here. I was going progressive and profitable. I'm a great believer in developing your essay as much as possible, and sometimes that literally means another couple of words. So progressive, yes, but also profitable because you've talked about economic growth there. Moreover, it's at this age when people are most enthusiastic and ambitious about working and succeeding in life. Good. A survey carried out by the University of Minnesota revealed that the younger you are, the more passionately you work towards achieving your aims. Really nice. Very, very good argument and nicely worded. However, the increasing population of young adults, you could put in many countries, means a greater burden. You'd need to have greater, means a greater burden on the already limited resources of a country. I think you need to put a country, not the country, because we don't know specifically which country we're talking about. Not all people are born rich. Join this together, therefore, many would have to fight for their basic needs of food and shelter. If you're starting with would, you need to carry on with would here. Additionally, there would be increased stress or added stress on the education department to provide quality education to all students. Okay. Oh, you've got in addition. Okay, so go furthermore then in that case. In addition to this, people graduating from universities, you don't need the universities is like a general word, so we don't need that, will compete for the already limited vacancies in the job market. You're right. It's a kind of vicious circle, isn't it? All of this is going to negatively impact on their lives. Yeah, their lives and quality of living or standard of living, maybe you could put. Again, like you've done up there, just add in a little bit like that. Maybe standard of living. For instance, research. You don't have a research. You just have research, and you need to say who it's by. You can make it up. We're absolutely fine with that. Research by Oxford University, published in 2007, showed, don't have the punctuation there, showed that despite having degrees, many people are still unemployed. Good. Very nice. Nicely done. Good argument. Another major drawback would be an increase in the crime rate. Could be. Now, we don't know this for a fact, so be careful on your hedging. Could be an increase in the crime rate. Since, join it together, or as, those who are unable to get employment, you don't get unemployment, you get employment, may, hedging again, resolve to unfair means to feed themselves and their families. Okay. Illegal means, you wouldn't say unfair, probably go illegal. May maybe resolve to. I'm not sure if resolve is the right word. It'll come back to me, the word, in a minute. This would lead to a rise in crime. This could, so careful on the hedging, this could lead to a rise in everyday crime. And join this together, because that's not really a sentence. For example, comma should go there. We would say lead to, sorry, it's come back to me now. We would say lead, no, get employment, resulting in. Okay, leave yours for the moment. Don't worry too much about that. Robbery, theft, and abduction. Okay, nice use of 3. Well done then. But so just join that sentence together. Therefore, though a greater proportion of youngsters as compared to adults seems, yes, may seem, hedging again. So hedging is when you stand back. You're making some very big statements and we don't know if they're true. So just stand back a little bit. Use all the modal verbs. May seem to bring an economic boost to your country. Its negative impacts are way more than its advantages. Good. You could just, all right. You've given me your opinion. You don't need to repeat it. It's okay. Really, really nice essay there, I think. So task achievement, absolutely. You've answered it really, really nicely. You've sort of covered that well. You've given me the advantages and you've given me some of the disadvantages and you've concluded at the end. So coherence and cohesion, for me, it runs really smoothly. It's easy to follow your argument. You're using prepositions, pronouns nicely. You're joining your ideas together very well. I like the layout of your paragraphs. It's nice and clear. Sometimes if you're writing a very short sentence, I think about trying to join it up. So use a connecting word to join it up. Grammar looks very good. Just careful on this bit where I've changed into would. I think it was around here. If you start off with would, this idea of hypothetical, you're going to need to carry on like that for that idea. I think just look at that or check that over. Vocabulary, very, very nice. And you've also done really well not repeating yourself too much. So you're showing a good lexical range. Very, very good essay. 40 minutes, well done. Okay, and your exam is coming up. Okay, so music. This is also really interesting, a very intelligent argument. Agree or disagree? So a bit more of your opinion in this one. So we live in a metropolitan society with multinationals and multiple cultures. Good. You could sort of say where multinationals and multiple cultures coexist, or coexist happily, or coexist with little friction, something like that. To link different cultures and ages, some people suggest that music's a good idea. I certainly agree. As vital as music is, lovely, I like that. In every person's life, it plays an important role in unifying us as well. Very good start. This essay will blah, blah, blah. Okay? Discuss the relevance or the significance of music today, using examples from wherever, Pakistan and something. Okay? So that you need that one more line in your introduction. Some elders in our society are of the view that today's music is no longer how it used to be. That's true. It's become meaningless. Or, why don't we join this together? How would it be? Believing that it has become meaningless and is no more than a source of noise. So that would be quite more sophisticated grammar structure. Moreover, they also complain that it's drifted away from their culture and traditions, which was always depicted in the songs of the past. Okay. For instance, a few weeks back, a little bit informal, I would just go recently. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but for an academic essay, I'll go recently. My uncle encouraged me to listen to songs of the 80s, which comprised the rich history of our town and its people. okay, which provides the rich and epic history. Okay, something like that. So this is what I mean about just adding sometimes just a tiny little bit, which upgrades it, because it's not a word we use very often. It kind of upgrades and develops at the same time. So there's a 2-in-1 there. On the other hand, you have to say, now, careful here. If you use on the other hand, you have to have on the one hand. So because they're like a balance, these two. So that's okay. If you don't want, if you're not using the other one, you could just start with however, which signals to the examiner. So that would go. So it signals that you're changing direction. However, I believe music has evolved over the past years. The musicians today, I mean, yes, it has. You've already said it has. So you're not really suggesting a different idea. You go moreover, which means like additionally. Yeah, moreover. So on the other hand, however, are suggesting opposite ideas, and moreover suggesting the same thing. I believe music's evolved over the past. You can't have past many years. Over the past 20 years, I don't know, something like that, 50 years. Or you can say has been evolving over many years, something like that. You could change that tense and it would work. Musicians today, I don't think you need the. Just go, musicians today are experimenting with many different, so a lot of is too informal, many different kinds of music. They're incorporating musical instruments from the past that had become obsolete, yes, and those beautiful drums, to produce new and exciting pieces of art. Moreover, okay, you've got it there. All right, don't put it there. Okay, but you know what I mean here. Let's get the right connecting word there. Singers are using a variety of languages in their songs, which are being thoroughly enjoyed by all age groups simultaneously. Good. This makes the general public curious about learning the new languages and cultures. Another point I would highlight is that many artists are bringing back the old traditional music from their culture, remixing it and presenting it to the world in a different manner. Very good. This approach is being applauded and appreciated. Yep, again, so just a little bit more. All over the world. All around the world, okay. Pakistan alone, the masterpieces, you could join that together. That would be the right word in this context. Of the famous poet are now being sung in different tones and forms, delivering the same message as the past. Good. And winning multiple plaudits. Now, this is not a word we use very often. Plaudits is from applause. So plaudits is like praise. Therefore, the use of music on different platforms at over. Yes, sorry, I hadn't spotted that. Is opening doors all over the world. All over, I'd go, I think, for this one. Bringing together the people. Yeah. Bring the people. And people as they learn and understand. It's diverse. No, we've got diverse. It's varied messages or something like that. I don't know. It's your essay. But again, I think you could add a tiny wee bit there. Okay, just kind of reinforce your fact. The conclusion's a little bit short. If it continues in the same way, music, it is possible that music will soon bridge most gaps in society. Okay, just a little bit. Stand back from these big sentences. You've done really well. Very, very impressive argument. Again, task achievement, absolutely. You've sorted out agree or disagree. I think on the disagreed opinion essays, you must reinforce your opinion in the conclusion. You've indicated it in the introduction. You need to bring it back here. That's what is needed in that kind of in this kind of essay. Your coherence is good. Just not quite sure which connecting word to go with there. You might be able to help me on that one, depending on how you want to do this argument. But it seems to me that you're arguing one way, you're not arguing a different way. So you need one that's going to continue, or furthermore would be good, something like that, rather than change direction. Your grammar's very nice, well done, and again, very, very impressed by your vocabulary. So wish you very good luck for your exam, and please let us know how you get on. I hope the feedback's useful. Thank you.